Well, everybody, welcome to Denver, Colorado, and to the Commodity Classic. So the Commodity Classic is a farm show, kind of like Louisville, but smaller and less people, but there's still like the real big name brand stuff is here. Like there's Kloss right here behind us. It's just kind of like that, other than you have to pay to get into the Commodity Classic. They also have numerous speaking engagements, which, speaking of, today at 2 o'clock I sit on a panel. So first time we're going to be doing that, but Molly and I are here wandering around. We were here yesterday too, but filming today on day 2 at the Commodity Classic. There's some interesting looking stuff here. We'll take you guys along with us. Let's get the walking, I guess. Right?
We done been walking.
We've been walking. So this has apparently been making its rounds at the farm show, is the Gleaner T series, T71. It looks like it has auto turn, rotor reverser, machine sting. We'll end up looking at a lot more combines here throughout the day today, but that would be on the smaller end of combines, and even like the what I would consider the larger combines that used to be large are starting to look pretty small at these shows when you start to look at the AF11 combines. Like they're definitely in a different class. So this is the Hagie STS 16. I'd say the cab of the newer Hagies looks pretty much like a combine cab. Looks, you know, I don't know if the visibility is quite as good in the Hagie that we have or not, but it's close. Because it's hard to tell with the boom up in the air. Usually you're running the boom lower. But I do like the fact that it has a swivel seat. The one thing that they do not have anymore on these Hagies is, and this has a whole bunch of more electronics and stuff on it, but the one thing that they don't have, that I don't know why they got rid of it 100%, is the catwalk that goes all the way around everything. So you kind of climb up a ladder to get into the cab, or you have to climb up a ladder to get towards the engine, the fuel and stuff. Not sure why they would do that. There's probably a reason, but I think having the catwalk to be able to walk around and like work on the sprayer is a very nice feature of the Hagie. See, now you just have a catwalk to get, or just the stairs to get down here. On mine, you catwalk and then go down where the muffler is. So now that catwalk's gone. But 1,600 gallon tank, that'd be nice. I think it looks skinnier too, for some reason. I think it does look skinnier. So that right there is the blue light that illuminates the boom, and that right there is the red light that you put a red light on the ground at the tip of your boom, and that's something that I'm retrofitting, and you guys will see in a video. CC13,
so you can solve new problems and improve results. Imagine having the freedom to plan.
So I talked about possibly doing some chiseling on ground to try and work some fertility down into the ground. And I gotta admit, Deere has a very nice looking chisel plow. Like, look at the conditioning on the back end of that.
Ready to help you save time and resources.
Obviously that's probably not what I'm gonna go for, but if I could find like a 20-foot foldable chisel plow or something like that at some point, that might be on the ticket. But that thing is a beast looking chisel. Elimination of draft tubes reduces weight. So we got rid of the draft tubes, which I think are what go from like right here to up there, those diagonals. I think that was the draft tubes. So this is a 2160. This hydraulic system right here is very interesting on how it runs. I wonder if like having those floats create issues with these back tires, but I highly doubt it. And so fun fact, in which don't quote me 100% on this, but now if you look at the new planters, the exhaust fans, they all blow down at the ground. and that's because of some of the seed treatment that goes onto the seeds is harmful for the bird, or for the bees, supposedly. And instead of exhausting upwards, now they blow it at the ground, so less damage for the bees. But yeah, something you can notice: the exhaust on planters blow.
We need bees for pumpkins.
Yeah, I'm always thankful for the bees for the pumpkins. That right there is a tractor on Ben's list to own in about 20 years. So I think they're good looking tractors. Not a big fan of the way the 715s look, but like those look way nicer. I wonder what size tracks this has on it. Let's see what size these tracks are. Give me some moving around. I think they're 18s. Nope, these are the 24-inch tracks. That's something that I would want, is 24-inch tracks. Sign us up for a grill?
Yeah.
So Molly just signed up for a giveaway or whatever, and her badges, these badges are part of our deal, but they got Molly in North Carolina as the place that she lives. She's very proud of the fact that it says
They called me a farmer.
that it says farmer. Yeah, I'll jump up here in the cab. So this is something that I might not like, is just how straight up these steps are, but you can't win them all. Dang, that looks nice.
You know who else won't like it? Bandit.
Yeah, Bandit won't be able to get up here.
Still no air ride buddy seat.
But the visibility, I always like the visibility on it. I mean, visibility's not great right now. I mean, we kind of got a sticker in front of us, but I've always thought these are really nice cabs.
This is a very small seat.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Or might have something very wide in it, I don't know. I really kind of have this on the wish list for a future tractors.
These are really nice.
Is a Rowtrac. Yeah, it's like, I like those. It's like they'll probably all talk. The dual displays.
Is that like a thing for your phone?
Yeah, you can put your phone there. It'll hold it. Plus, it probably charges it. I mean, we could try it. Hold on.
On, babe.
Oh, I bet you it is.
Nope.
Oh, I bet you it's not.
Your phone's almost dead too.
My phone is almost dead. What the heck?
I wonder if those plugins in the hotel don't work very good.
Or I bet it's because they updated my phone last night and it, like, smoked my phone. I think we should go look at the AF10, because they actually will let.
You probably ought to film me getting out of this tractor in case I eat shit.
We'll go climb up in the AF10. I think this is the first time that you can actually get into the AF10 at a farm show.
This is
Things are way, at the Commodity Classic, over like the other farm shows, you have a lot more access to stuff. Again, because it's not really like anybody from the public will walk in here. You have to pay to get in.
I think you have a heated seat.
Oh, it probably massages you too. We are in the AF10, which is, I believe, what they call the X9 killer. So.
My wide load fits on this one.
Oh, okay. So, I couldn't tell you what the cab's a lot different. It seems very skinny, like in long, but kind of looks like a case cab to me. Assuming it has all the automation stuff. That display looks really neat.
Whoa, holy buttons.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff. This one's on the big floats, but you can climb up top. I want to go show you the clean grain leg. It is legitimately like double the size of the clean grain leg on the 9660 and 9670, like double the size. But then again, props to the case, just really nice cabs in my opinion. I mean, that unloads like out there too. So 3 models, 634 to 755, 455 bushel to 567. For reference, the 9670 with the extensions, I can get like 380 or so onto it. Just look at how big that rotor is. Oh, these are Goodyear LSW 14s. So the big single float. This is the top end. I'm guessing that's the gearbox actually for the rotor. Holy smokes, look at the top end of this thing. This is like nothing I've ever seen. There's all the fans. Wow. While we're up here, I was looking at the case sprayer yesterday, trying to figure out how it was like doing its sense. They call it sense supply, and the sensor is actually up on the front of the sprayer instead of like on the boom. It's right up on top of that, which is kind of neat. Here, catch this. Wait. And just for reference, what I was talking about, this right there to there is about the size of our clean. I call it the clean grain leg, which goes to the fountain auger that puts it into the hopper. Ours is legitimately about that size there. Look at how wide that thing is. It'd be very impressive to see this thing run in some really good corn. And I honestly probably wouldn't want to be like running it. Yeah, that would be neat, but I think it'd be fun to run a grain cart trying to keep up with a machine like that. I don't know if one grain cart could keep up with a machine like that. And then there's the yellow one. So what I was saying earlier about like the size of the combines, after just looking at that AF10, this is probably what I would have considered one of the best corn combines on the market. And now when you look at that compared to those machines down there,
It's just a baby.
yeah, yeah. Still, I think Kloss combines are just really, really awesome combines. Those are what I'd like to upgrade the 1293 Dad's Corn Head to. I think ours are worn out, and I think that those would way improve the performance of that 1293. So now we're at the Kelly stuff, which I'm always kind of interested in, and these are the different blades. So
I like this one because it's green.
yeah, there's one of these that's actually for used for sale that I might go look at when we get back from the Commodity Classic. I wonder if it will work good in our area or not. So this, if I was just talking with people about how they like keep the records of like the individual tractors and stuff like that, filters.
Sure.
Is this a solution for that then?
This is a solution that can be used for that.
So this is cool. So go ahead.
So quick demo here. We provide these QR tags that can be placed on any of your equipment, fixed or rolling. Bring up your phone to it, scan that tag, and immediately will come up a profile of that piece of equipment. So I have my pickup truck here. I have some customized shortcuts of things that I want my guys to always do every time they get into the pickup truck, and then the history of everything that's been done over time. And so let's say I'm just in the truck today. I'm not really having anything structured, but something happened, maybe an event like a flat tire. I can just add a note, anything I want. I can use my phone's transcription. I have a flat tire. I can add a picture of that flat tire. Just take a picture of the show floor here. No big deal. So if you can text, you can use Gripp, basically. That's how simple we've made it. Once that image gets uploaded, is there follow-up needed? Yes, don't need to do anything else. I'm gonna submit that. Once that's submitted, I get a little red report on that asset. Anyone else in my organization is now going to get a notification on that. Let's say my co-founder Tracy over there is supposed to be on the flat tire. I can just come in here, and we've added a text-like chat interface. Okay. So I can just come in here and say, hey, I can choose my person and submit that. And it's kind of like a way to tag that person in my organization if I have a team of guys. Hey, it's time to do this. It's a way to do soft reminders. And when this guy comes in, all he has to do is mark that as complete. Name stamp, time stamp, it's all done. All those annoying things about filling out a paper form of what's my name, what date is it, what I did, that's all done now, and now that history is there for everyone to see.
And then So in terms of like time to go order the filters for this tractor, does it keep track of like of the filters that you have and a filter list and things like that?
So what we can do is that we have some guys that use this for inventory.
Okay.
And so what they'll do is they'll come into their inventory barn and we'll put these all around the shelf. We can put these tags on magnets so they can slide them around. And let's say they have 50 filters, they'll have 50 tags, and then they can set a reminder, say, hey, anytime one of these goes down below 1 or below 5, or then send me an alert to go and
well, I guess what my question was, so you just scanned it for your pickup truck.
Yep.
Like, do you have say it takes, you know, like a Fran 1023 is what the oil filter is. So like if you're at the Napa or something like that and
Then
say,
you can
oh, I
pull that
need
up.
this,
Yep.
I can just pull this up without them, you know, pulling it from their computer, and you don't know, and then it's like, oh, now I leave, and
that's correct.
They gave me the wrong filter because I told them it didn't have automatic wiper blades or something.
Yep.
Like that.
The best part about Gripp is that if you want to use it minimally, you can use it there. If you want to use it maximally, you can. So on every asset, we have the opportunity to add fields in here. Some guys just put a VIN number and that's it. Some guys put nothing. Some guys put their serials. Some guys put all 20 of their filter numbers. And so now when they're at the parts store, they can just come in, look up the history and say, oh yeah, by the way, I need this, this, and this. They can add a bunch of pictures for the parts, or the pictures of the filters, or the pictures of the data plates that are all usually around the door jambs.
Okay.
All of that stuff can be stored here.
Okay.
And saved on that code.
And then, so is this like a subscription base, or you buy it once, or how's it go?
It is a subscription base, so it depends how many assets are in your operation that you want to track. I'll direct your attention over here to our pricing. It's on our website. It's all open. Basically, if you're a one-man band or anything, $9 a month is where we start, and it's only, we don't give you any cards, it's just for the app, because you pretty much know the name of everything you've got. But as you get more people and you get more things, having the QR code is really helpful, because then you can scan and not have to know what you call that thing. And so we have them plans at 25 tags for $100 a month, or 100 tags for $300 a month. And that covers the tags, the software, and the service to do those custom routines that I mentioned earlier.
Okay, very cool. Very cool. Thank you.
Thanks for stopping by.
Ben, yeah. So Fendt has a gold wrapped 2-track here today, or at the show, and the new Secretary Ag signed it. Kind of neat, but that's what it looks like if you wrap a tractor. Talked to Brian. Brian was here yesterday. We were talking about that. I went and talked about wrapping the quad track. He said I need to put like the shark teeth on the quad track, and I kind of like that idea quite a bit. So this is an 1167. If you remember, I like those cat-looking Challengers. I don't know if this is like the replacement for the Challengers or not. I don't know how that worked company to company wise, but this thing.
They missed a spot.
Oh, there's still a little bit of green on the door deal. They missed it. I think they have it wrapped in gold to show their the 3-year power warranty type of thing, I think is what it is. So they're gold.
Gold ticket.
Yeah, what do they call that? Their gold service plan. So that's one thing that I've heard that is super awesome about Fendt is the warranty program that they have on it. And I think that's really probably what's making them gain some market share against Deere and against CNH. So I don't know if I'd run a 2-track or not. I think I would be interested in trying a 2-track, especially on a planter tractor. I think a planter tractor would be nice to have a 2-track on, but who knows? Kind of cool. What do you think of that one? Buddy seat wise review?
It's a little small.
Still a little small.
Still no air ride.
No. We're going to start a company about that as retrofit and air ride buddy seats. Mark my words.
Shh, don't tell them our ideas.
Yeah, no. Somebody that knows how to CAD stuff, send me an email. There's the specs. The standard hydraulic pump is about 60 gallons, which seems low for me, but I'm guessing most of them get the optional. 60 gallons a minute will still run a lot of basically everything you want to run. Fully weighted out on the rig is like 60,000 pounds. So you can get some weight onto it. I don't think that it actually drives on lugs. I'm pretty sure it just uses the friction of the drive wheel on the belt to drive those. So that's, I don't know if that's the downside to it or not. I think it's probably a downside to it. So we're going to talk with Jessica here in a second, and I'm getting out of the small square bale market. The premium's just not there for it. We're actually going to be selling the small square baler, or my dad owns the small square baler, so he's going to be selling the small square baler. But this is basically like a double small square baler that I chatted with Jessica about. We'll get her here in a second. She's speaking to somebody right now. But give the rundown on this. But I believe that these are pretty much brand new on the market, but it almost is like got the capacity of what looks like a big square baler or a large square baler, but it splits it into two-string small square bales. So very new, very interesting on the market.
Well, yeah, this is our new 14 by 18 inch double small square baler. So this is the Massy Ferguson 1438 DB, and we'll start at the front and we'll work our way back. So come around and follow me.
So something that's Massy has had, or Heston Massy combination, they've had the inline small square baler versus like the Deere one that I run. It's off to the side, so they've always had a difference there. So this is a new feature of the inline baler.
Yep, so this is going to require 1,000 PTO hookup. It requires 120 horsepower PTO to run the machine. And that's mostly just because it's such a robust machine. So it weighs 9,400 pounds. So you need a big tractor at the front to be able to pull around this monster. So we have an adjustable hitch, so it's going to match your tractor. And then we have this Simply Bale system is going to come standard on every 1436 DB. So essentially this is going to show you whether to speed up or slow down with your driving. So that really helps whenever you have somebody in there that isn't quite as highly skilled. So it's really going to tell them exactly how to drive based on the input that you put in for your what your bale targets are. So this is going to show you bale weight, flake count. You can put in your target flake count, and it's also going to show you what the actual flake count is going to be coming out of the left side and coming out of the right side of the chamber, which we'll go back and take a look at the chamber in just a minute. And then this is going to show you your bale efficiency, so how many bales per hour you're actually getting out of your machine. You can also control your lights and your lubing system, as well as the density cylinders on here as well.
So how many bales per hour should you see out of this machine?
Yeah, so pretty standard. We're getting somewhere between 800 to 1,000.
That's a lot.
We've gotten it up to 1,200. Some of our validation engineers have gotten it up to 1,200. They're really scooting in terms of the ground speed. But of course, it's important to take into account whenever you're increasing your ground speed, now you're getting lower overall flake count, right? So if you're driving super fast, now you're going to be building these huge flakes and maybe a bale that only has 5 flakes in it, right? So it's really going to be where you get your increased capacity is going to depend on what your bale targets are. Are you targeting a certain weight? Are you targeting a certain flake count, a certain length, etc.?
So in terms of weight, what's the lowest weight bale that you could realistically push out versus kind of like the most dense bale that you can push out?
Honestly, I'm not sure.
Okay.
It's all just going to depend on how you drive the tractor.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's hooked up. It's actually with a 2 5/8 ball. Is that what the?
Yeah, I believe so.
It's actually like a ball, not a pin for it. Mm-hmm. So in terms of the pickup, it's like that's a really wide pickup.
That's a super wide pickup. So it is 105 inches from panel to panel, and we have that big auger system in here. And essentially, what you're looking at is a 3x3 large square baler pickup. So we talked about capacity, we talked about ground speed, but another way that you can really get the increased capacity with this machine is going to be with a big, huge, large square baler sized windrow. So now you can break up more of that swath into one windrow and get that feeding into this baler, and you're still getting those small 14 by 18 bales. So you're getting that huge throughput, huge capacity, and still getting the small, highly marketable bales.
Yeah, so when I mow hay, it's like that is a huge limiter when I'm baling with the Deere baler. Is that like if I get into really thick hay, we have a 13-foot mower and then we have 9-foot mowers. It's like I'll mow with the 9-foot mowers because I think that I'll bring it into each hay if I got the two 13s next to each other, and it's like,
Yep. And with this,
realistically, I don't even in A1, sometimes I think I'm going to still be overloaded.
Sure, yeah, and you know, this is really going to give you that opportunity to increase your efficiency across your entire operation, right? You just named it, you can have a larger mower, you can now rake more into one windrow, and this thing will eat it.
Okay. So then we go around to the plunger and the knife.
Yeah, well, let's talk about this twine box first. So we have 10 balls of twine on each side. So that's going to allow you to bale up to 8,000 bales before you need to stop and refill again. Also, you can see it whenever you go around to the other side, but this full twine box will completely tip up, gaining you accessibility to all of the components in here.
So very similar to the large square.
Absolutely.
Very
Yep.
kind of on par with that. Okay.
Yep, easy accessibility. If we're taking a look at this chamber, it's one plunger, one chamber. So it's not a dual action plunger, it's not two individual chambers. It is one plunger, one chamber, and as that flake is brought up and formed into that bale, we have a stationary knife right up in here. And it's actually going to slice each flake as it's being formed into that bale. So that's how we're getting two bales. We have a separation wall all the way down the chamber, and so that's going to keep those bales separate as they're formed. Another selling feature of this machine is going to be this independent knotter trip system up here. So these bales are being tied independently of one another. So if you have a nice consistent crop feeding, that's not going to be an issue, right? You're going to have the same length bales. If you have inconsistent crop feed or maybe a lighter windrow later in the season, they're going to tie independently from one another based on what each individual bale is going to be, the length it's going to be set at.
So essentially, bring that down a little bit. If you're feeding one side of the pickup heavier because you're looking at your phone or something like that, it will push the hay into one chamber over the others, and you're not going to have like two different densities of bales.
Different densities, two different lengths.
They'll stay the same.
Yeah, yep. And so we're still going to get that same accuracy and precision of our bale length in this machine as what all of our Heston small square balers are known for. And we'll take a look at the chute back here. So you do have the opportunity to get a scale on both sides of the chute. So this is a dual wide chute, so it's actually dropping the twine strings up. We also have the opportunity for a quarter turn chute, where it's actually going to bring the bale out and flip it on its side so that you can go through with a stack wagon and collect it that way. Yep.
Very cool. Thank you, Jessica.
Absolutely. Thanks for stopping by. It's great talking to you.
So the one thing that I thought I made the assumption of when with that was that it like made a 4-string bale and then it cut the 4 strings to get bale. Well, it realistically cuts the flake and is building two individual 2-string bales. So that's pretty cool. So this is a Haulmaster grain cart. One thing that I think is really pretty interesting on that, they've got a rear hitch on the back of this one, so you could probably pull a header cart behind it. But the other thing is, Molly, go stand next to that track. That track is very, very tall, which is interesting. Looks like it has a water suppression system, some stuff that everybody's kind of adding to grain carts throughout the years. But I've just always noticed how tall the track is on that on those grain carts. And this one has the right hand unload. You know what bums me out? The Kubota booth. They got a tractor here. I was really hoping that they'd have the big skid steer here. I really want to get my eyes on the big skid steer with the new cab.
Somebody has popcorn, I can smell it.
It does smell really good. You ready for your YouTube debut?
Smile, you're on candid camera.
I'm on candid camera.
Everybody knows Jake from State Farm now. Meet Jake from Landoll. He's better than Jake from State Farm, in my
Absolutely.
opinion.
Live.
Yeah.
Live.
From
Commodity
Denver,
Classic.
Mile High Studios.
Yeah.
We're going to look at the Landoll 7500 VT. You're going to give me the features of it. You think you know them?
mine? I could probably try.
We could probably go ballpark our way through it.
Yeah.
I can go take a picture of the information board, so if you need me to, get your picture notes.
Give me a kind of blast that up.
Yeah, Molly can hold it for you.
Teleprompter
Give you
style.
cards. All right, let's go look at this thing.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
And we're going to lunch because they ran out of lunch yesterday. I don't know if you know that or not, but they ran out. Yeah, we were up there like 12:15, and we had the option of green beans and pasta salad. They ran out of like the chicken salad. Okay.
Features and benefits here, guys. 5-15 adjustable gang angle on the fly, all hydraulic, no pins, easy peasy from the tractor cab. So,
And you can see it really well from right here. And I actually even see that you got a reflecting tape behind that. So if you were trying to do it from the cab at night, you'd be able to see it. So from 5, is 5 just basically scratching and cutting in base at that point, and then at 15, you're getting pretty aggressive.
Yep.
So our VT, what's the gang angle set on it?
the original VT, Landoll VT, the 7431.
Yep.
10 degrees fixed.
10 degrees fixed.
You're here, we're 5 degrees each way.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's the new feature. And I also noticed that the tires
Yeah.
are all very heavy duty tires now.
We really built solid tool. With the weight of this thing, you got to have a tire to hold it. So we run a 480 BKT. Excellent performance with that tire. We carry the weight of the tool on the tires, keep it from a smear. We scoop clean underneath, put a very minimal layer in, and we feel that is agronomically the most important piece of this tool.
So is this a new feature too, is to actually carry?
I call that the Western feature.
Yeah, okay.
The I-States, we tend to just leave the tire in the shed and go get it when we need it. But it is nice to have it on there readily available. I mean, if you look at all your vehicles on the road, they got a spare tire with them, so we like to think that that's kind of the same model.
So in terms of horsepower per foot, what, so people can understand it, what are you seeing for that?
Somewhere in the 12 to 13 range.
Okay, and working speed, top end of the working speed?
7 to 10.
7 to 10,
Yep.
so a little bit more power for these because you're trying to actually move them pretty quickly.
Yep.
What about the conditioning systems? Sounds like you got some new conditioning systems.
We'll walk you around the
versus
back.
ours.
Yep, we'll walk you around the back. This is given where we're at here in Denver. This is their most common Harrow package. This is the heavy round bar 14-inch basket that you're used to on your 7431. Yep. We also have a double round bar, open-centered, 12-inch, spins faster, size is better, firms like the round bar should.
Okay.
We have that same configuration in a double flat bar.
Okay.
Flat strap, heavier clay soils, more aggression. That is what we sell in Illinois with minimal rock coverage. The round bars seem to hold up better in the state of Iowa. Definitely more rock durability for you guys across the river. We can sell a combination as well. We've done that. Largely, we're either one or the other.
One or the other. And then it looks like now you do have hydraulic pressure on the back end of them.
It's not live. It's a lift cylinder you see here on the arm to get that basket up if you're in a wet spot and you get caught. Also, I like that with the double basket to run that float because that gives you, it keeps the basket from dictating what the tool's doing.
And so do you still have the adjustable up and down?
Yep, fore and aft.
Fore and aft.
Yep, hydraulic fore and aft. You can see our linkage there in the center.
So typically, if things are set up, if they're set up level, where should most guys be reading on that gauge?
You're going to be in the top half.
Top half is usually where they're at.
But every soil type, every condition is different.
Okay.
All we're doing with that fore and aft level, it has nothing to do with the bite or anything like that. All you're doing is putting the rear gang in relation with the front gang to make sure you're doing a nice level job and you're not leaving any ridges or anything.
So is there a way for somebody to, like, if they just had like magnetic level to get out, but that's still hard to even do because it's the ground that you're on level, so it's just an eyeballing type of thing that you just want to keep adjusting until you get it to where you want it to be?
That's right.
So
it's 100% based on finish.
Very good.
Absolutely.
So some other things that Landoll offers is they have scraper blades.
Yep.
And then they also own Brilliant.
Yep.
And then Landoll also builds trailers.
Yep.
Yeah, Landolls. These are the new ones. I think it's lunchtime.
Thank you.
Jay from Landoll, not State Farm.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Thank you.
Awesome.
We'll catch up with you later.
Yep. Be good, Molly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, you can stand with headroom underneath that sprayer. I don't know if that's just breaking into the market type of thing. I don't know. All-wheel steer, another sprayer on the market. Good. So Chip was unfortunate enough to sit next to us at lunch, and so now when I talked to him, he at Global Track Warehouse.
Global Track Warehouse.
And we talked about my quad track, and you guys do tracks for everything. You want to just kind of say what you guys do?
Yeah, so Global Track Warehouse is the actual manufacturer of the tracks that we produce. We make them for tractors, combines, grain carts, skid steers, excavators, just about anything with tracks on it. I probably make a replacement track.
Okay. And so is it just an order online? You have like a website that you can just say, type in, like I have a Kubota SVL 90, and it comes up with that track, or how's that work?
Global Track Warehouse will give you the size. We always tell people to call in so they can confirm pricing and inventory, because I might be out of something. That way too, if we're out of something, I can say, hey, I'm out right now, but in a couple of weeks we'll have some more coming in.
Okay. And then that gets shipped directly to you?
You can ship direct, yep. We also ship to dealers, ship direct to the farm.
Okay.
Most of the skid steer tracks will fit on a standard 40 by 48 pallet, really easy to unload.
But so you guys will make tracks for like Challengers, quad tracks,
Yep.
even into like the Deeres and stuff that are starting to put tracks on combines, all those replacements?
Yep.
So there's something to think about if you're looking for tracks and you have tracks. That's always been a question of mine, is where can you actually source new tracks from?
Aftermarket, yep, all new.
Aftermarket wise.
Yep,
So thank you, Chip.
not a problem.
So,
Move,
So-
you're in my clip,
Oh.
sir.
okay, so something you guys have probably seen me walk past these in the other shows is these US seed treaters. This is a box-to-box seed treater. So this is for treating soybeans. You guys, do you do corn?
Soybeans, corn,
You
wheat.
do corn?
Yeah.
Oh, so it does a lot of everything.
Yeah, it's multiple products.
What I think is really interesting about these is if you look at other seed treaters, they're very big. This is put one box on top, and I'll let Josh give you all the details, but it scales it. I think we can meter it as well, and then you're just right into another box. This is similar to how we treat our seed. This is just a little more professional in the way we do it. But you want to give us a quick tour, Josh?
Yeah, so like Ben mentioned, this is a box-to-box system, very compact. Basically on the power voltages, it is a single phase 240 volt, only takes 29 amps. So we just recommend 50 amp breaker basically. So there's not a lot of motors on it, just your auger. It's got a 5-horse motor up there, and then you have your atomizer motor down below. So on the automation, like you were saying, we have a 4x4 scale up here that does the seed metering. So there's an electric actuator gate underneath, so that determines your flow. So the max on this for soybeans were around 800 pounds a minute. So basically, you set in the monitor in the automation that you want to run 800 pounds a minute, and then it will control that gate to release that much seed per minute.
So for people, 800 pounds a minute, that means you're treating a box of beans in the neighborhood of like 3 minutes at flow.
Yep.
Full. That's fast.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes, and kind of on that realm, we say like 5 to 10 minutes to treat, and that's for setting the box up there, taking it away, doing all the stuff, shuffling plus treating. So it takes, yeah, like you say, the 3 minutes for the seed to be treated, just a few more for moving the box.
Okay, and then in terms of, so you have compartments for your chemicals. It's like, do we have to mix batch per like box? Like if you're wanting to do like a certain amount, like you're just doing it per one, or is it like, oh, we can mix certain amounts in here and then it will meter it in?
Yes, so you can, so this has 2 stands on, separate stands.
Okay.
So it has 2 flow meters and 2 pumps.
Okay.
So in the automation, we can create recipes. So basically you put your seed varieties in there for the scale side of it here, and then you put your chemical names, and then you make recipes. So if you want to blend it into one tank or have separates, you can make a recipe. So, because we can actually have 2 more of these.
So you can go up to 4. I was going to say 2. I'm like, we're treating with more than 2 chemicals. So.
Yeah. So you can go up to 4 on this.
Okay.
And then you build a recipe. So then all you got to do is select it when you hit the start button, and then it will only turn on the pumps and then meter it out for the speed that you're running the treater at.
So will this automatically meter? So say you have a box that weighs 2,200 pounds because the beans are bigger, and then the next one weighs 2,000 pounds. Will it like automatically calibrate to the right 100 weights?
Yep. So in the automation, we put the seed varieties in there.
Okay.
So, and then you put the seed size. So then it'll know based off of the flow to adjust. It's a self-calibrating on the gate side.
Oh, okay.
So this is self-calibrating, and then you manually calibrate the flow meters to basically ounces per minute type of deal. So it'll automatically adjust that based off of your flow rates.
And then I assume that this is a poly auger on the inside?
It's an 8-inch poly cupped auger.
Okay.
So, yep, go ahead.
No, and then in terms of like, say you're done, you want to like winterize it, clean it out. How's that system work out?
So on the auger side of it, it has a little trap door at the bottom. You just flip that little handle down, and then it has actually, you can reverse the auger.
Oh, really?
So then you can clean what's in there. Typically, there's only about a handful.
Not a lot, yeah.
Left in there. You know, cleaning out wise, we kind of give the best recommendation is if you get a box you know you're going to treat but not with chemical on, just run that through. Okay. You know, that'll clean the auger out pretty good. You shouldn't have to worry about it for next year. The pump stands, running, you know, water through it, getting it all cleaned out, simple green, stuff like that, and then either RV antifreeze. And if you don't like the RV antifreeze, I don't mind blowing a little bit of air through it, just and then putting it away that way. So
kind of just winterize it like you do your sprayers.
Yeah, absolutely. Basically, it's almost the same thing in the sense of, you know, your speed would be your flow going through, and then your flow meters, your rate per acre.
So. Obviously, it has skid steer, pallet fork pickups. That makes it nice. I mean, heck, if a guy had shelves in his shop, you could set this thing up on a shelf. What does the actual unit weigh?
It's around, I think, 1,800 to 2,000 pounds.
So you don't need like a monster skid steer to really move it. So.
No, it balances pretty well on these two forks. Actually, we have you can throw it right in the back of a pickup and haul it in the back of a pickup.
That's honestly something that I was like, that's really intriguing, especially if you got yourself a generator that, you know, it's like, heck, you can go put some beans on this farm and you might store them there and then move your actual treater from one spot to the other just by quickly putting it onto the trailer or right in the back of the pickup truck.
We do have trailer options for this as well. So we have a short trailer and a long trailer that basically sits on there. It's got a single axle and then a deck up front, so you can actually treat on the trailer, take it around, and do whatever. So
yeah. So in terms of like on the farm seed treaters, from what I've seen, I think this one's probably the coolest.
It's very simple. I mean, usually when I go to train somebody to start it up, within an hour of going over, talking about stuff, implementing information into the screen, we're up and treating it and go. So
hey, there you go. Thanks, Josh.
No problem. Thank you.
And I'm like, oh, I wish I would have bought one way back then. Yeah, so it doesn't seem like it.
No, a lot of guys have these.
So something that I didn't know is Molly is standing in the way. So the bale bearings you've seen, the bale bearing picks up small square bales and then bundles it into a bigger square so you can move them around. Very handy way to move around the bales. Actually, like the straw that we buy for the pumpkin patch is used with that. But something that I did not know is that they are making their own small square baler too. So this is kind of what the Massy was like. It's an inline square baler. So bales it, and then right there you can see dumps it out, and then you can move those and makes it easy to pick them up and move them. Thinks it bundles like 21 together, so very handy way to move small square bales. And if I was to stay in the small square bale market, that's what I would want to have. But on that note, it's time to go sit on a panel. Did you get your tote bag?
No, there were people in the way.
Talk about seed treatment. One of the things that we're looking at is to plant our soybeans earlier and earlier. And I believe I can actually start planting soybeans with insurance this year on the 30th of this month. And with insurance, which is crazy, but when we're going to start planting those soybeans, we're going to be exposing them to higher risk areas. areas in terms of wetter conditions, cooler conditions. They're going to stay in the soil for longer. So things like sun dust syndrome, soybean cyst nematode, all of those things are going to be a greater risk and affect my bottom line essentially if they present themselves in that year. So I look for things like new seed treatments that are coming out. Well, we are done with the panel, which usually it's like, what is it, about 3 o'clock?
Yeah.
That's pretty close to happy hour around at these farm shows. So the booths that get pretty popular are the ones that hand out the brewskis. So I think we are headed to go experience those.
Why is there a giant barrel? Oh my god, why?
Where? Oh, Blue Bear. I don't know.
Why?
Molly's not the biggest fan of mascots. So we're going back up, but that was the first time sitting on the panel. Sat on there with some pretty smart people. But we'll go up here to the window and show you guys the mountains. Hey Molly.
What?
Apparently that escalator right there is broken.
Yeah.
Well, apparently escalators, when they're broken, don't actually just turn into stairs. They actually shut them down.
Interesting.
Yep.
That is pretty cool.
So far, we're pretty impressed with Denver. It's a very clean city. It kind of smells like skunks every now and then, but do with that information as you want. I could also see why people like the mountains. So Molly and I are going to stay here for a couple of days, and we're going to go explore around.
We'll include some of that stuff too.
Are we? Probably going to edit this video. I can release it pretty soon, though.
Oh, okay, never mind. Just
Maybe we'll
kidding.
put it on Instagram. Well, turns out I lied. Show stopped at 3 today. So
I think you got all your...
I was able to get in because I got an E. So
They tried to kick me out.
they tried to kick Molly out. They let him in. Shh. But Commodity Classic is in San Antonio next year. I've got a farm show that Molly likes to go to. She doesn't mind going to mall,
I just like this because it's not as... I have a hard time with crowds.
Yeah. So she likes that. So San Antonio next year is possibly on the to-do list. We'll see you guys in the next one.
We could just go out that door.
A little behind the scenes of the farm show, like when the farm show's done,
It's
like they're
packing up.
they get to work and they get to getting. It's like things are done and gone quickly. Fendt planter folding up, sprayer boom folding up, Drago corn heads folding up. Like, I wonder if they can tear it down faster than they can put it up.
Oh, 100%.
All right, okay, now we're out of here. We're gonna go, actually, sounds like we're going sightseeing with Gavin and Gracie. So, see you guys.